Was poppin', Noble Nation?
Okay.
Today, we are starting the new series on the channel, the Noble Podcast. The main objective for the podcast is we're going to be talking about events, shows, and movies. But today, we are going to be talking about the Anime Awards and Birds of Prey. Tommy, would you like to kick us off on the Anime Awards?
Yo, I'm here. The Anime Awards. A lot happened. We tried to do this podcast and the audio broke. So in that podcast, we're like, here's what we think's gonna happen in the award show. And instead, that broke, and then the award show happened. So we're just gonna talk about the outcomes, which we're mainly gonna ignore all the outcomes.
Yep.
Hey, Anime of the Year was Demon Slayer. Did you think that was going to happen?
Yeah.
I did
but
too.
At the same time, I really wanted an underdog to win it, because that would have been a great story for this year.
It would have been. And Demon Slayer won, which is fine, I guess. But it's just like, well, Demon Slayer won, and it's kind of everyone expected that out of all the categories.
Well, it was a good anime. It actually did better than I thought it would.
No, I think the reason it won is because of like its big fan. Like it blew up and became normalized out of all the rest. It became normalized in quotations because the slight downfall to that is it wasn't dubbed. So it would have had more votes if it was dubbed, because people who don't watch subbed would have probably ended up being like, this show's really good. So it kind of was slighted. But there's other shows in there, like Carol and Tuesday. Carol Tuesday was slighted because it's Netflix exclusive.
Yep.
And not a lot of people are going to go, I want to get on Netflix and watch that show, which is reasonable. So yeah, it makes sense. So,
I feel like a lot of people did get on Netflix and watch it.
Yeah.
Mainly for the fact that Carol and Tuesday won the music award.
Yes, which I'm actually glad. I'm really glad that Carol and Tuesday got the score award or music award or whatever it was, which is good because being a show based around music, you know it's good when it's got the music award. So I'm glad that happened. That was a really good thing. And now that's the Anime Awards. Xavier Woods showed up and hosted that shit.
Oh, heck yeah.
Xavier Woods,
my boy.
He's really good. I like Xavier Woods. Out of everything, Xavier Woods is the best. Tim, he was okay. It was a bit weird because he was running chat, and chat's just going to be mean no matter what. But other than that, Xavier Woods nailed it. Xavier Woods was he knows what he's doing. He's a legend. What a guy. He knows how to pick up the ball once it's dropped and then just continue with it. And I thought that was good.
All right.
That was the Anime Awards.
That was the Anime Awards. Switching gears, going to Birds of Prey.
Oh my.
Tommy, how would you rate Birds of Prey?
So, instead of rating it myself, I'll just say what happened. We walked out of the movie, and we went and seen the late show. So we seen it at like 9:15.
9:15. We left the theater about
11:30.
11:30-ish,
almost midnight. And we walked out, and we got in the car, and we sat down, and PJ went, I'd rate that about a 4. And I'm like, 4's a good number for it. 4 is a good. He's like, maybe 3. I'm like, nah, leave it at 4. It's a good movie. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. I wouldn't go up to someone and go, you need to watch this movie.
Absolutely not.
But it's not a movie that I wouldn't watch. There's only been one movie that I would be like, I'm not watching that, and based off of other people's things, and that was Aquaman, which sucks.
Because I still haven't seen it.
Well, don't. I haven't seen it either. My parents were like, we're going to watch Aquaman. You want to watch it with us? I was like, absolutely not. Get away from me. And they're like, come on, watch it with us. I was like, no. About halfway through that movie, I walked in like 2 hours later, and it was still going. And they're like, hey, you want to join in? I'm like, no. And I walked away. After they finished it, they're like, that was awful. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I figured it was.
I tend to like to watch movies over and over again.
I don't watch movies unless it's a 10.
But after watching Birds of Prey, I will not rewatch that movie.
Right.
It will go into the do not show me this again list.
I don't like watching movies a first time, let alone watching them again. So if I watch a movie again, it's like 10 out of 10. And there's only a few that can do that for me, which is okay. So yeah, Birds of Prey, I watched. I'm not sad I watched it. So I'm like, that's okay. That's a good movie. It's all right. I wouldn't watch it again.
No.
Would you suggest it to someone?
No. But if they asked about it, I'd probably tell them about it.
Right.
And go, the ending wasn't really the greatest. But some of the fight scenes were all right.
No. The fight scenes were fine. The whole movie was fine. It was the ending. And the ending was awful.
Oh yeah.
Because the huge fight scene they had, it was like way too long. And normally I'm invested in the fight scenes. Any superhero fight scene, anything like that. Because they're cool. Like in Civil War, where Bucky and Captain America was fighting.
Oh yeah.
Iron Man. It was a cool fight scene because there's two people teaming up with Iron Man while they're doing like backstory and all that. And it was a cool fight scene that actually mattered. And I always pay attention during the fight scene, like, oh, that was really cool, or that way they hit that guy was really cool. This fight scene, about halfway through, I realized I wasn't even watching it. I was just staring at the screen, zoned out, and then I was like, huh, what's happening? It was something. It wasn't a good fight scene. And then after that, it was just kind of fell apart because it wasn't good.
I think the main thing that really upset me with the movie,
right,
is they kept bouncing back and forth way too much. In most movies, I like it when they do that, but they'll start at the very end of the movie, and they'll go, here's what happened 5 days earlier, and they'll fill it all in. But instead, they're like, here's what happened 4 minutes earlier. Then she came in and beat the shit out of all the cops and went, here's what happened a day earlier. And I'm like, why? Why couldn't we just filled all this in and got it over with in one single take?
It was interesting. It wasn't the worst thing they did, but it was interesting. It was weird how they did it, so I kind of agree. It was kind of like, why'd you do that? Now, this game I can sum up with, it was like DC was like, they finally got around to watching Deadpool, and they're like, oh man, that was pretty good. We should do that. And they're like, Harley Quinn is DC's Deadpool. And she like talked to the camera and broke the fourth wall because he's kind of insane, like all that. And so like they just kept making her like break the fourth wall. She kept making her do things. She kept like drawing on the screen, and it was like, okay, all right, I guess I get that. But they tried way too hard to make her like Deadpool, and that kind of sucks because it's like, if you guys went ahead and did your own thing with her, it'd be okay. But you guys are just like trying to make it as Deadpool so that way it would do good. And it didn't do good.
No.
Oops. They dropped the ball there. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it was really funny. In the part where she finally broke. She's all like, me and Mr. J are no longer together. And then she hops in the truck and goes and destroys the plant.
Yeah, the chemical plant.
It was really funny because the whole scene I was sitting there going, man, it's like I've seen this already with the Harley Quinn cartoon we've been watching.
Yeah.
And after that, I was expecting her to immediately go, time to assemble a team. And it never happened until almost near the end of the movie. And I was sad.
And we got all the, like, the knockoff / villains / not even, like, good heroes / people. Like, when Harley Quinn assembles a team, you'd think, like, big not actors, but like big villains, like Ivy and a few other people like that. Instead, they're like, we got the Huntress and the Canary and this random cop and this kid that decided to eat a diamond.
See, the thing that irritates me with Black Canary is supposed to be kind of like Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Does not give a shit. So the fact that she was tied in with somebody for almost the whole movie kind of irritated me. She's supposed to be like the loner character until she meets the Green Arrow and stuff.
Right. She's normally a lower character. It was kind of like development, in my opinion. It was like, there's this kid, and the kid kind of probably reminded herself of how she was when she was a kid. So she's like, I gotta look out for this kid, but I'm gonna kind of like not really care. And the kid pickpocketed the wrong dude, and then she was like, I gotta care because the guy I'm working with will fucking kill this bitch. So she's like, you gotta give me the diamonds. The guy started freaking out. Personally, I'd say my favorite thing about the movie would be Black Mask. Judging on, I've never really heard of that villain because I don't do research into DC that much. It's just kind of like...
I've never heard of him either.
And they introduced Black Mask, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And he has a bunch of masks, and he's like kind of like the guy who wears masks and murders people and stuff. And he takes people's faces. I was like, wow, he's really cool. And in the beginning of the movie, he was funny as hell. He was like doing one-bangers and being like freaking out and being just an idiot. And we're like, that's pretty funny. That's good. That guy's good. He's making us laugh because he's being stupid. And then towards the end, he just got really sexist and really serious. And it was like, no, we don't really care for you anymore. And then he put the Black Skull on, which is the Black Mask.
When he did that,
put it on, and I went, oh, it's Red Skull, but for DC.
Yeah,
that's immediately what I did. I was like,
I thought of that, and then I went, I wonder if this is Deadeye or Deadshot before Deadshot became a thing in DC.
No, he died.
And then he died, and I went, oh, my theory's wrong, and I kind of just walked away from that.
He really did just explode. He was like dead. No, it's weird because it was weird. He got really sexist at the end, and then he put on the mask, and I'm like, damn, what are you gonna be, a Nazi too? What are you doing here? And so it was really weird, and it was fine in my opinion. I think it was a good movie. It wasn't, I'll go rewatch it again. It wasn't, I'll suggest it to other people. But like, it wasn't bad. But you know, it's not gonna do good in the theaters or anything like that, which sucks because maybe that movie was made good. There's a lot of one-liners I liked in it. But I'm gonna circle back to something. Like I said, it was like they're trying too hard to make Deadpool. I think in the first movie, Deadpool stuck to something throughout the whole movie and was like making fun of that and referencing back to that. And they kind of did that with Harley Quinn when she had her egg sandwich, just like Deadpool and his chimichangas. She was like, my egg sandwich, best egg sandwich in the world, and then she dropped it and ruined it, and she got all pissed. And then at the end of the movie, she's like, I finally had it. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen this before. I have seen this one. And the guys came in and sat in front of us, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was awkward. And then towards the end, some kids were just kept peeking in the door looking at us, and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, get the hell out of here, boy. Yeah. I'll throw some hands. But overall, that movie was weird. It was okay. 4. Yeah. It's a solid 4.
3, 4, around that area.
Right. It's not a 1. If I give it a 1, I won't watch it ever. If I give it a 10, I'll rewatch it. And other than that,
anywhere in between there is probably just a one-time watch.
It's based on whatever you want. So, bada bing, bada boom. That's that. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think we mainly covered all of our topics.
Okay. Well, this is going to try and happen once a week. So sometimes we'll either end up accidentally missing it. Hopefully we don't, because it's not a hard thing to do, and we kind of enjoy just sitting here talking about things we watch. It's going to be on movies we watched, anime shows we watched, TV shows that we watched,
or any random events or topics that we tend to go to or think about that need to be talked about.
Right. The Golden Globes happened recently as well.
We ain't talking about the Golden Globes.
We ain't gonna talk about the Golden Globes. What do you mean you ain't gonna talk about the Golden Globes?
About probably the best thing that happened is Billie Eilish didn't do as good as everybody thought she would at the Golden Globes.
Right.
She won the award, but she kind of butchered her singing part.
I don't know about any awards. All I know is the only movie that won was Parasite, and everyone was upset about it. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And then on the flip side of that, a bunch of awards were given out, and it all got shadowed over by Eminem's presentation because he did a song from the early 2000s. He did one of his early songs, and then he did it now, and everyone was like, "That was awesome! That was great!" And it was weird because a lot of people were like, "These kids today don't even know what this song is," and a bunch of kids were like, "Eminem claps. Doesn't matter what age you are. Everyone listens to Eminem because he claps." And a bunch of old people were like, "You weren't alive during this, so you wouldn't even know what this song is." And everyone was like, no, everyone just listens to Eminem. I don't know what you're talking about. It was really weird. It was like people trying to hold on to something they let go. But it's all good. So once the Golden Globes ended, all I heard about was people getting mad about Parasite winning. And did you see the Eminem show? And I was just sitting there going,
that's nuts.
That's crazy. I didn't watch it. I actually have a picture I want to show you. How did you feel about the Golden Globes?
To be honest, I kind of watched half of it mainly because my grandparents, they love the Golden Globes. And they invite us over for dinner to watch it. But after Billie Eilish, I don't know if she was sick or something, but halfway through one of her songs, she cracked her vocal cords.
Ooh, that's not good.
And I was like, Billie Eilish fucked up on live TV. I don't know how I feel about this.
Right. Well, this was a while ago. This was way back then. Here's Elton John and Eminem hanging out.
I didn't know they were friends.
They're best friends. And then if we come up, Here's a picture of them that happened at the Golden Globes.
That's amazing.
They retook the picture they did because they have that exact picture, but them in the past, which I think is funny because he's wearing the do-rag and he's wearing like what he classically wears. And he's wearing like a really Elton John outfit, and then now is them in the future, and they're just minimized now and they look normal.
Yeah.
Do you know why Elton John and Eminem are best friends?
No.
So Eminem was addicted to sleeping pills and a bunch of different drugs, and he ended up in the hospital, and he almost didn't live through it.
And Elton John helped him.
And he came through, and he was like, he's still addicted. And Elton John was like, I'm the only one that can help you because I've been through it. All of his friends didn't know what to do. Elton John came out of nowhere and was like, I've been through this. I was also addicted to the same pills you were. I will help you. And helped him through and basically saved his life. And so Elton John and Eminem became best friends, and they've been best friends ever since. And then on the flip side of that, a little bit later, once Eminem started getting more money, he bought Elton John a present. He bought Elton John and his husband a present. It's 2 diamond embedded cock rings.
That is amazing.
So yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, man. Elton John and Eminem were best friends, and basically, Elton John saved Eminem's life. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know that Elton John and Ozzy
are friends?
Are super good friends.
Yes.
I also recently found that out. I also found out that this might be Ozzy's last year to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's been going on forever. I would have retired too by now.
No, it's mainly because I guess he was diagnosed with Parkinson's or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
So this is the last year he can do anything before, I guess, his Parkinson's mainly takes over.
Yeah, I bet that would suck with a music career.
Yeah.
An acting career, music career, stuff like that. Those are not good things to have as a disease with that disease. But
yeah, no.
Yikes. That's pretty much the podcast, dude.
Yep. All right, Noble Nation. We will see you next week. We'll be talking about the Harley Quinn show.
Oh, yeah, that's ending next week.
The final episode comes out. We'll give our reflections of the show and how we felt about it. And I guess any random events that pop up. So we'll see you next time in Noble Nation.